Hi guys. I was keeping this to myself, but I think it's better if I share it with you. It all started on a hot April night a week ago. I was tired after a hard day of work and wanted to relax a little bit. I turned my ceiling fan on and jumped into Animal Crossing New Horizons. After a few hours, I felt my eyes closing, so I shut down the game and went to sleep. I woke up a couple of hours later, drenched in sweat. My ceiling fan just wasn't working. I checked outside and noticed that there was a power outage in my neighborhood and everything was pitch black. Since I live by myself, I got a little nervous. Childish, I know, but I decided to play some Animal Crossing New Horizons to calm myself down. It was the first time I played the game this late, and the look of my town and the silly 3 a.m. music made me feel at ease. I walked around with my character, catching fish and bugs when I noticed a crack on the ground. Well, that's weird, I said to myself. I thought I was already done with today's fossils. I took out my shovel and dug out whatever was buried. My character picked it up, and a message appeared with a happy jingle that said, "Look, I dug up a thirsty axe." Well, I was hyped. I never heard of this item before, so I quickly searched for it online and found a sketchy site with only a single entry. Well, wanting to know more, I clicked on it, but it only read, "Content was removed by a user." It was odd, but I dismissed it and just went back to my game. Maybe it was like a new tool or something that was patched in recently. I equipped my new axe and attempted to try it out on a nearby tree, but it bounced back, like when you hit another player. After my failed attempt, a text bubble appeared. "The axe refuses to work. It seems to be thirsty." Must be a weird hidden game mechanic, I thought. So I decided to bring my axe to a waterfall and swing it towards it. Another text appeared. "This won't quench the axe's thirst." Next, I dropped the axe on the floor and tried using the watering can on it, but that didn't work either. I was getting frustrated, and nothing was getting this seemingly strange tool to work. I placed it around the island for a bit, trying on different waterfalls and watering the axe next to a flower bed and stuff. I passed by the villagers' houses and saw Annalise sitting alone on a bench. I never really cared for her, so out of frustration, I swung the weird axe at her as one does, and I expected the axe to bounce off of her like it did with the tree. But it didn't. The screech caught me off guard. It pierced my ears. It was like nothing I've ever heard, much less in a game like this one. There was a splatter of blood, and Annalise dropped to the ground, lifeless. I had no idea what just happened. Before my brain could register what I saw, a text bubble appeared with a happy jingle. It read, "The axe is no longer thirsty. It's willing to work for you." I was in disbelief. How could Nintendo allow this kind of thing in a game like this? Maybe it was like a dev that sneaked this in without permission or something. It wouldn't be the first time an Animal Crossing game had something inappropriate snuck in by someone. I mean, but why would he do it? I had too many questions, but none of them could be answered at the moment. Morbid curiosity made me put all those questions aside and try my new working axe on the next tree I saw. After the first hit, it spilled blood, not wood. The screech returned, higher than before. I tried to lower the volume, but nothing happened. Each hit emitted an equally loud screech. I was getting more unnerved each passing minute, but I really wanted to see what happened. At one point, I could have sworn I saw a dark shadow peeking through my window from the corner of my eye. I decided that was enough for the night. I saved and quit, but right before the game closed, a text bubble appeared. It read, "There is no turning back." I dismissed it. I was so engrossed with the game that I didn't notice when the power returned. My fan was working again, so I went back to sleep. The next morning I opened the game. Everything looked normal, except There was no music in the title screen. I pressed A to continue. There wasn't a morning message from Isabel either. Odd. My character got out of the house like usual and took out the axe. I didn't put it away before saving and quitting. I walked to the nearby rock I needed to hit for Nook Miles, so I attempted to swap the axe with the shovel, and it didn't work. Instead, a message appeared. There is no turning back. Whatever. The axe worked for hitting rocks too. But as soon as the axe touched the rock, the same thing that happened with the tree happened here. A blood splatter and a screech. No items or resources. I was sick of it at this point. I tried switching to the net to catch some bugs, and it didn't work either. I got the exact same message. The fear I felt last night quickly turned into frustrated anger. I couldn't do anything. I kept wandering on my island and stumbled into my villagers. They were twitching and glitching, the face texture completely missing. I tried talking to them, but everyone gave me the same response. There is no turning back. Crap. Nook's cranny and the Able sisters were empty of items and clothing. Only the shopkeepers were inside, which, just like the villagers, were also glitching, repeating the same thing over and over. There is no turning back. I tried the museum, and to my horror, it was completely empty. All my bugs, fossils, fish, gone. At this point, the game was absolutely unplayable. Oh, screw it, I was resetting this whole thing. I went back and opened the settings screen. Tom Nook was missing, but in his place, there was a weird, humanoid, deformed head. I was so grossed out by it. It felt like watching maggots coming out of a dead animal. It wasn't saying anything, and there was no music either. It was completely silent. I felt uneasy, but a moment later, it said in a horrifying voice, "Stay awake." It sent a chill down my spine. I grabbed the game and smashed it with a hammer. I don't know if the threat was some sort of weird prank or if it was real. Regardless of whether it was or wasn't, I've been waking up at night feeling like someone is watching me, and when that happens, I can't go back to sleep. Please, if you find the axe, just throw it away. And if you can't, don't use it. It's a bad omen. I don't feel safe in my own home at night. Just please, stay safe.